Welcome to my garden, guys. It's a little bit noisy out here this afternoon because the kids are running around in the backyard. We just got home from school. I don't normally wear makeup when I'm out in the garden, but I just finished work myself, so I'm just going to try and race out here and spread some mulch around and check in on my plants that I've been looking after. If you watched my most recent video for the capsule wardrobe, I mentioned how I have been out in the garden a little bit more. I'm attempting to grow some more of our own food. I really enjoy being out here, so let me take you and show you around. Oh, look at this little guy down here. Can you hear my son flogging his football down there? Look at this. Look at this little guy. I almost just squished him. Can you see him? Little hairy caterpillar. Just when you think, well, off he goes. They can make you real itchy. Okay, let's go for a quick look around. Welcome to my backyard. Up here on the hill is where we have carved out some space to plant a vegetable garden. I live here with my husband and 3 children, 3 boys. That's Henry in the background there. Wherever I am or the boys are, you will find Henry. I actually called him Heinrich, which is German for king of the castle. We just call him Henry for short. Not Henri. So if you are hoping to see an aesthetically perfect garden, you were in the wrong neighborhood. You took a wrong turn. Here in my garden, just like any other aspect of my life that you have seen so far, I like to be thrifty. I like to be resourceful and do things on a budget. So it doesn't look like something you would see in a magazine, but it is mine and it has been created with love and forethought. Those garden beds that you can see were handmade by my father. He had some spare roofing sheets that he cut down. He used old fence posts from his brother's property and cut them down to make the corner pieces, and he loaded them on his trailer and he drove them 4 hours and dragged them up the hill for me. So much love has gone into these garden beds and this space. I am very lucky and very blessed and very thankful that we had some help putting these garden beds together. And I just love how this space has its own story on how it began, and it is so much more meaningful to me than just getting a pre-made box kit ready to go from Bunnings, you know? So don't be afraid to put that resourceful lens on when you're looking at spare things laying around your garage, laying around your shed, to see what you can pull together to create your own garden on a budget. Okay, now we're all mulched up. Let's have a look and see what we've got. I've got some marigolds in lots of different colors in the garden to attract some pollinators. I think they're called, is it not dahlias? Cosmos? Oh, I can't remember. So I've got some of those growing. I've got some rocket, which the caterpillars have smashed. Loop caterpillars have been my nightmare this season. I've got some multicolored radish ready to go. That is a really quick harvest vegetable, so if the kids are getting a little bit impatient watching things grow, radish is really quick to harvest. I've got some cucumbers on the ground here because I thought that I had pumpkins growing over there. Turns out they were cucumbers too. The baby may have swapped around the little putter pop sticks that I'd marked them with. Anyway, I've got some bonus little baby cucumbers growing here. They're a bit prickly to touch. I've got to get that spare fencing up so I can create a new trellis. I've got some capsicum over this side, but they're not doing great. I don't think it's hot enough. I don't think they've got enough sun through here, so I'm going to experiment with some potatoes. So if you've got some tips for growing potatoes, let me know. Because we're losing daylight over here. It's going to be winter soon, and although it's warm, I live in North Queensland. This area here doesn't get a lot of sun, and my cucumbers that were so happy got smashed by caterpillars. And after about 4 days with a lot of rain, they got that cloudy leaf. So I need some help, guys. Give me some advice, please. Over here, I experimented with digging my first swale to redirect the water that comes down the hill, and it directs it down this path, like to try and soak this ground as opposed to just running down the drain and getting wasted. So that's my plan for this here, and I've just stuck some mulch here. I did have a little pumpkin patch that I was trying to get growing here, but they are struggling because they don't get a lot of sun because of this tree that I have here, but it's also great in the summertime for a bit of shade, and then it just is a bit of privacy for over the back fence. So I'm sticking some mulch here to train my husband not to whip a snip through here and just slaughter everything. So see how that goes. These were like overly abundant and so healthy, and then like 4 days of rain. Didn't check on this for a little while, and loop caterpillars smashed it. So this half was a pumpkin patch that the caterpillars ate. So these 2 sections here, I want to try building like a lasagna bed to do like no dig potatoes. So let me know if you have any advice on growing potatoes and harvesting them really easily. So give me some help, please. I need some help. Okay, so over this way, I planted, what did I plant next? Over here, I've got some carrots, a row of carrots which have broken through the ground, and next to it, I have some onions which haven't come through yet. The same caterpillars smashed my broccoli. I was getting so frustrated, I just trimmed off the little treed up leaves, hoping that the trauma would encourage them to have new growth, but this one's growing a little bit more, but they're kind of stuck in trauma phase. They need some therapy. Please, help. Send help. Ridiculous. Over here, we just had some rain lately, so it's a bit stodgy over here. I've got some more marigolds. I love this little, is that variegated? Is that what they call it when the colour switched around? I'm trying to attract some bees and butterflies. One of my lettuce from the farmer's market, that was 50 cents for that little seedling, grew to seed, whereas these little butterleaf I think these ones were seedlings from Bunnings, and these are doing so much better. These are like Peter Rabbit style, so they are so healthy. I did put eggshells all around the base to deter any caterpillars and slugs, and it must have worked because they all went to all the other garden beds and not this one. Now that I've mulched it, I don't know, do caterpillars mind crawling across scratchy mulch, or do they hate it? I don't know. I've got some Cavendish bananas and some sugar bananas, so we'll see how those go. I'm going to move that little bit of fence over there for my cucumbers. And look at my poor garden. These were so healthy, and after those 4 days of rain, they just got smashed by loop caterpillars. That has been the worst. I've been out morning and night trying to pull those grubs off them. My snow peas are starting to come through from flower. So there's a couple little snow peas there. The kids will have fun picking soon. The bottom's looking a little bit dry and wilted, so I've got to pump up the water up here. This is my craft twine. I love these sweet little white flowers. So precious. All right, let me take you to my pumpkin vine. Oh, right, it's a cucumber. That's right. I can't believe that happened. Have you ever seen a spider that looks like a crab? Well, now you can say that you have. I didn't even know they existed until he came out with his little like nippers, like snap, 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 when I got a bit too close to him the other day. Here is my cucumber vine. Now, if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, go and follow me over there if you like to see lots of little homemaking videos, like when I harvested maybe like 5 cucumbers and turned them into cucumber pickles to help preserve them and make them last longer. I need to replant my tomatoes because the kids took my tomato stakes and set them on fire and had a fight with them in the backyard like they were knights guarding their castle, and I don't know where they went. I think they javelin threw them into another part of the garden, and they just haven't quite made it out to sunlight again. So anyway, I used broken up tree branches that we had to cut down to let some sunlight here, and because it was so windy and I didn't secure them properly because I was in a hurry, they blew over and it damaged maybe half of my tomato plants. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to redo that part. I still have a few projects to do up here, like finishing off my swales and putting gravel down, but in the meantime I am just going to enjoy the day and enjoy the sunshine, doing a little bit at a time while I juggle my 3 kids and working part-time. Thank you for tuning into this week's video. I will be back next week and I'll be in the kitchen this time. I'll see you soon.